Yo, what's going on? What's good, y'all? Welcome back to Making Learning Addictive Show. It's been a minute. I know I've taken a couple of weeks and months off so I can take care of a little business with my son. But today we are back with our first show for the year. It's a special one. We're bringing in the new flavor here at Nearpod, the new FlowCab team. Well, some of the new FlowCab team on to talk about, hip hop in the classroom and why it's needed in today's culture. I'm going to talk about all of that on today's Making Learning Addictive. Yo, I'm a little rusty in the production because it's been a minute, but it is your boy, Ryan Romero Smith, the host of Making Learning Addictive. Thank you for joining us either live or on a replay, because we know it's kind of a wonky time for most folks, but it's all good. If you're watching us on a replay, we thank you for your continued support. We got some good stuff for you today. Like I said, we're going to be introducing our new FlowCab team here at Nearpod, but we're going to be talking about hip hop in the classroom and maybe get some hip hop confessions, out of our guests today. So without further ado, let me bring on Mr. Janky Janks. What's going on, y'all? What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? Oh, let me give you the applause that's due to you real quick. What's good, y'all? How y'all doing?
Good. Thanks for having us.
Hey, not a problem. You new family now, Bree. So welcome to the team.
Thank
So
you.
I want y'all to just go ahead and start off and we got a little bit of delay. You good, Bree?
I'm good.
Okay, cool. That's all good. So let's go ahead and start. Why don't you guys introduce yourselves? Let the audience know who you are and a little bit about your passions on hip hop, real quick.
Bree.
You gonna make me go first? Oh, okay, fine. So, hey everyone, I am Brianna Harmon. I'm from West Palm Beach, Florida, but currently live in Atlanta, Georgia. So, as you guys know, music in both areas from the South that's just me growing up around it. I'm a former educator, so I taught 4th and 6th grade, elementary and middle school level. I did some work in entertainment, working at Epic Records, Rock Nation under 2 A&Rs, and I also now I'm currently an entertainment host at Revolt TV. So education, hip hop, and why it's important in both areas is my passion, and I'm super excited to be at FlowCab and merge them two together.
That's what's up. What's up?
All right, everybody. It's Merv Jenkins, and I am so sorry I didn't go first now. My resume definitely doesn't hit as hard as Breeze does with that background. So, but I'm happy to have her on the team. I'm the senior manager for FlowCab Specialists, and quite frankly, my whole career has been hip hop and education. I started, I guess, emceeing myself as a middle schooler. And I do it to this day, and that's believe me, as you can tell by the gray beard, many years later. But I honestly never thought I'd live to see two things that many people said could never coexist really come together, and it has. And I'm just happy to be a part of it, man. So thank you.
That's what's up, man. The gray is a badge of distinction. I just wanted to let you know.
Appreciate it. Feels like it.
On my way there, but you mentioned two things that you didn't necessarily think that would ever come together. Why don't you elaborate on that a little bit for the audience?
I mean, quite frankly, we're going back to the 80s, and although hip hop hadn't just began, it was still fairly new. And growing up in South Carolina, a very deep-rooted church community that I grew up in, it was definitely not seen as a positive thing. I remember being in middle school, and I still use the word dope to basically say, yo, that's hot. I love it. It's official. I remember my mom finding my writing notebook going, boy, you on dope? Why you got dope? I was like, nah, mom, that's just a saying. And I still laugh about that because obviously the sayings have evolved over the years, and even I'm not up on what's the latest. All that said, people definitely didn't attribute hip hop to education and vice versa for sure. And I always felt, even then, that, I mean, let's think about it, man. Even from its inception, the music and the culture has been teaching us, and it's given us voice. A lot of people who would have not been heard were given the opportunity to be heard by the masses thanks to hip hop. And now to have it happening in the classrooms around the world, not just the country, I just think is a pretty amazing feat.
I would agree wholeheartedly, but go ahead, Bree. Go ahead, give me your hip hop confession as well.
I was gonna say, not only that, growing up, we used to get in trouble for making beats on the table. You had your pencil and pen, and you was, a lot of you. That was fun. That was lunch. That was like during the time you were studying. There it is, right there. So now, for it to be allowed in the classroom, and it's not necessarily looked at as a distraction. It gives us that students that place of security and space and creativity. So it's not looked at as something that's negative and distracting anymore. That's the biggest thing I'm trying to take away from that. We can actually use it, and it makes us learn so much better with it being on our side.
Right. Well, the reality is, the music in itself is foundational, how we begin to learn, right? But now when we're mixing in this particular culture, let's get it real. Since 2019, hip hop is the number one musical genre, 3 years running right now, probably going on the 4th year as well.
Yeah, B. Smith, that's in the world, regardless of language or location. How crazy is that?
Once again, that's dope. When people hear me say dope, they're like, Brian, should you? Because I'm usually considered the clean bro, but no. Dope is fine,
Oh, man.
Dope is fine. So you're right. That's the entire world, regardless of language. And that's key, right there. So with that being said, we always talk about meeting our kids where they are.
Yeah.
Why do you think, for any one of you, it has taken so long for us to bring this aspect of music into the classroom to enhance the way the students already learn?
I gotta jump in on that one. Like I'm thinking about it, man. And regardless how you look at it, we have always been slow to adapt, slow to accept. And I can remember doing the music, my dad would be looking at me like, yo, man, what are you doing? Like, what is that? Like, here, listen to James Brown, listen to Otis Redding. And it was what it was, but he was giving me what was his generation's, what captured their hearts, mind, imagination, but he was reluctant to step into what was up and coming for my generation. And now I'm seeing the same thing with my age group, and we're looking at the kids and what they're listening to now, still called hip hop, but you hear a lot of my age group going, nah, that ain't real hip hop. And that's just the human cycle as I see it, man. And I think that it's definitely no different when you now put this into terms of taking it into the classroom. Definitely there's going to be that resistance. But if you notice, the teachers who embrace it and really engage their students using it, I can tell you based off of research, that's right, y'all, Dr. Jenkins, based off of research, that it's made a difference on the teacher-student relationship. And what's learning if the relationship isn't there, man?
It show's over. No, go ahead, Bree. Go ahead.
No, really though. I mean, as a former educator, your biggest thing is trying to connect with your students, right? So how do we get to their level? Vocabulary allows that opportunity, because imagine your teacher walking in and throwing on a vocab video and you're like, what she know about that? Hold on, play that back. I gotta hear that again. And you're allowing me to have fun. So it bridges that gap. It allows teachers to now build that relationship with their students. And then imagine when the teachers do tap in, we have a great feature called the Lyric Lab. And the Lyric Lab opportunity, you're able to show your students what you got. So now I'm showing you what I got. You show me what you got, but it's all around the same thing. Like the lesson that we're focusing on. You're just showing me how you get it, and I show you how I get it. So
Yeah,
it's that relationship, but it's also allowing that space of openness and creativity where it used to be looked at as a distraction, but now it's like, it actually works.
You're
so
right. And teachers who are actually applying that aspect, it's paying off for them. You
big
know,
time.
so let's take a pedagogical approach, to infusing hip hop in the classroom, and I'm gonna go back to the confession I made to you guys, around, you know, my difficulty initially with Kendrick Lamar,
Yep.
right? So everybody know that's listening. I grew up with folks that thought they were all holy and holier than anybody else. So hip hop was not allowed at all. I remember having a tape of NWA,
Woo!
in my tape deck, and my dad hopped in my car, popped it in just to see what I was listening to. And he heard, first thing he heard was a cuss word, whatever it is. He took that tape and threw it out the window. And I was like, what? What are you doing? And he had his reasons, right?
Of course.
But since then, I had a hard time with the language aspect of things. And it blinded me, on what was really going on within the music. So I gave it another chance after a conversation with another brother. And I was amazed. First of all, let's break it down. The level of vocabulary that's being used in these songs, far exceeds the crap that we're teaching in the classroom as it is anyway. But then when you actually break it down, the storytelling aspect and then the relevance to what's going on within the culture, and the teaching that's going on with that aspect, you're talking about taking pedagogical approaches to something that, one, you already said it, they connect with the kids, but it's something far beyond what the textbooks can provide. So thoughts on that?
My take on the first part of this was, and it's been spoken on numerous occasions over the years, but even as a youngster, I would be sitting, listening to someone chastise the music and culture, but then literally as soon as the subject changes, they'd make a comment to someone, something along the lines of, and paraphrasing here, yo, did you see that new Quentin Tarantino Reservoir Dogs? That was like the dopest movie ever made.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there going, dude, Reservoir Dog has more curse words than any rap album you can probably name. And you just sat here and talked negatively about the music and culture, but this is your greatest movie of all time all of a sudden. And you can apply that across the boards, like, okay, you don't like rap, but you're cool with watching Rambo kill 1,000 policemen. Like, I can go on and on about this. It said to me that there was something deeper happening for you to pick this genre and all of a sudden throw all these darts at it. And I can definitely delve into what that other thing happening was, but I won't go there. And I'll just say, man, I am glad, going to play off of what Brianna just said. Basically, the student voice is being heard and captured through hip hop. And I love it. I love it, man. It's a win. I love it.
That's good. I'm gonna have to steal that though. Go ahead, Bri.
No, I was gonna say he hit it right on the head. I mean, we know how deep it can go, and we know the reality sometimes behind it. But at the end of the day, like you said, with you listening to Kendrick, the vocabulary that you're getting. I love Kendrick. I love Jay-Z. I love J. Cole. I love Lil Wayne. They're going to give you that vocabulary that some people aren't ready for. And when you realize that that is hip hop, it's a lesson. It's a story. It's education all in one. When they move beyond what they think hip hop is, then they'll be able to understand that it's really a force, and in the classroom, it's even better.
Woo,
man! You're making me upset that we had technical difficulties before, because we can go in, on this, and I know Murph's got a hard stop. Uh, ladies and gentlemen, we do have some announcements to make, but we did have some technical difficulties in the beginning. But I'm actually going to make a request that we can get the two of y'all, and then maybe Tiana, when she's feeling well, back on for this audience, because I want to honor your time, as well. Ladies and gentlemen, trust me, we can go in a whole. I got lots of questions, because I even want to go into, the provocative natures of our videos, utilizing our platforms to make a message, especially when this is America hit, from Childish Gambino. I want to go in, but I know we don't have time. We don't have time.
Well, part two. We'll have to have a part two.
Yeah, part two. Part two.
And we definitely got to do part two, because this isn't even the whole team. So
right. So we're gonna
shoot. So we're ready. All
right. We're gonna schedule that soon, ladies and gentlemen. I apologize for the short show and all that, but hopefully from whatever we just talked about, you were able to gain something. Also, mindsets may have been changed as well, just like mine were when I finally took the blinders off, when it came to the language. But we'll be back, I promise you, real soon, with Bree and Merv, and then we'll bring T on as well, so you can actually see the whole team. I promise we'll do that soon. For the better part of this, though, make sure you hit us up on next week. We're going to be talking about the HBCUs. Bree, you coming back on that show?
I will.
You're representing the Rattlers. Come on now. Okay. So like I was saying, ladies and gentlemen, we'll come back with the HBCU on February the 16th at 7 p.m. Central Time, and I'll let y'all know soon when we actually have part two of this conversation. So we appreciate you guys joining in. Thank you guys for coming. Today, once again, I apologize for the technical difficulties, but
all good.
Oh, I'm so excited. All right. So excited. All right, ladies, we'll holler at y'all later.
Peace.